because I just want to chat with you about how to gain career clarity in 2020, because so many of my clients say, look, I really don't know what I want to do next. And the one thing I want you to think about, okay, make this your mantra for 2020 in order to get stuff done. And Julian's listening as well. So if you're still here, Julian, this is the word, okay? And it's for everybody. The mantra is focus, Focus. And I might just put that up as a banner if I can find it. Yes, there you go. Focus. If you focus on what you really want and you work on it, then we can start to gain career clarity, right? So what I want to do today is to show you my career clarity pack, which is fantastic because it's just got all this information here. I'll just take the cover off so that it's not all shiny for you. But career clarity, there are lots of exercises. I'm going to talk you through the exercises. You can do it on your own. You don't need to have the pack, but I'm going to tell you all about it, because if you work through each of the exercises that I'm going to be telling you about in a minute, then you will gain career clarity so that you can start to make the right decisions for your career, right? Now, before I tell you that, I just want to tell you about what I did over the weekend, because Navigating Career Crossroads, this book, it was published back in 2015, which is fantastic. And it's got to #1 on Amazon, which is really nice. And it's just a fabulous career guidance book. I'm just going to turn off my notifications on my emails because they keep coming through and pinging, which is a bit annoying. But okay, so this has been a great text. It's the A to Z of how to make a successful career transition, and it's still a valuable book. However, there are quite a number of links that now are outdated, or people whom I have mentioned, their recruitment websites, etc. Some people have moved on. So I knew I needed to update to the 2020 edition of Navigating Career Crossroads. And because I wasn't really focused on what needed to get done over the Christmas holidays and the break, I was going to get it done, but I didn't, because I didn't focus. I was doing lots of different things and I was very scattered. That is one of the worst things to do, is to be very scattered and try and do multiple things. Multitasking, it does not work. How many of you have tried multitasking? Tell me, has it worked for you? Type in the chat box if it has. But I find that if I multitask, basically I get nothing done. And if you want to reach your career goals in 2020, you have to focus. So this is going to be the mantra. And so the story is with this, I promised my publisher it would get done over Christmas holidays. Of course, it didn't, because I was not focused. And finally, on Saturday, I decided, Jane, if I don't get this done, I'm going to be really up the creek, because I've got a career confidence workshop that I need to deliver very soon, and I need to have copies of this to give to each of the participants. And so, time is getting very short. So I focused on Saturday for about 4 hours. I did nothing but update the important content in here, but there's so much work to do on the book that 4 hours wasn't enough. So I decided to cancel my plans for Sunday, and I always play golf on Sundays. So Dick Lamb, if you're still listening or you're still watching golf, I love it so much, and so many of my clients enjoy golf as well. But I cancelled so that I could spend 9 hours. Let me tell you, 9 hours. I took 10-minute breaks to get some lunch and get some tea during the day, but 9 hours to update this book, to make sure that anyone who wants it next has got something that is 100% up to date, with all of the right links and all of the latest information, especially on your LinkedIn profile for the job seekers, okay, and how to leverage, because LinkedIn's got lots and lots of new offerings on the platform that were not there in 2015, such as LinkedIn Live. And being a beta tester for LinkedIn Live last year, it's now rolling out to more and more people. So there are plenty of LinkedIn Lives. Okay, so let's focus. I focused on Saturday. I focused on Sunday. I got the whole thing redone. And I was so pleased with myself that by later in the evening, I gave myself a glass of champagne to celebrate. And so I'm going to meet my publisher on Tuesday, Andrew Akratos. Can't wait to see you, Andrew, if you happen to be watching. And we're going to nut out all the final nitty-gritty, and it will be republished, the 2020 edition of Navigating Career Crossroads. Fantastic. Yes. Now, what about you and your career clarity? Now, in order to gain career clarity, there is no point doing what you've always done if it is not working. That's one of the silliest things to do, to keep doing the same thing over and over again, because you'll get the same result. If what you're doing is not working, do something different. And why not open up your eyes to some ideas here. All right. Now, if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop it in the chat box. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if anybody has said anything to me more recently as I scroll through this and see. Okay, so I think, Julian still here, Jane still here, Sarah, Dick, lovely. All right, if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay, and so career clarity. What do you need to do in order to assess what's important to you so that you can make the right decisions? All my clients like to go through this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of the exercises that I work through with my clients so that you know what you can do as well. Okay, so career clarity. Here are all of the exercises that you need, or all of the things you need to consider. Even if you don't go through my exercises, you can consider them on your own so that you get career clarity. The first thing is do a life inventory. Take stock of where you're at this point in time in your life, because your career is one part of your life. But I like to coach holistically. And so we need to take into consideration your life, your relationship, your physical environment, your home, your finances, and your health as well, your personal health, because if you're not healthy, how can you work to the best of your potential? So these are all of the different exercises that I have here. I'll just put it up close so you can see if you're looking. All right. So here are the different exercises that you can complete. So your life inventory, this is such a great exercise, because what I want you to think about, okay, is I want to think about your finances. Some of the questions that I ask you in these exercises that I have, and you can consider them yourself now. The questions I ask are, is your income stable and predictable? Do you currently save 10% of your income? Do you pay your bills on time? Do you know what you need to become financially independent? Have you got a plan? Now, I have lots of questions here that you can answer to think seriously about your finances, because if they aren't where you want to be, then you may need to look for another role that pays you a bit more, or you need to think about negotiating for a salary raise. Okay, so that gives you a bit of clarity about your finances. We also need to consider your personal relationships as well. And if you're happy in your personal relationships, then you feel more confident within yourself than if you are looking for a new job, or you want to get a promotion in your own role, in your own job now, or in the company where you work now. Then you're going to have a lot more confidence to be able to take control of that. And if you've got good relationships, you've got family support. So you need to assess your relationships. In addition to that, you need to assess on the home front. And this really is your physical environment. Is your home neat and clean? Okay. Are your appliances working well? Are you tolerating anything about where you live? Because if you're irritated about where you live, then it's always going to bother you and you're not going to feel 100% happy. So assess your home front. Also assess your health. The health is one of the other things that you need to consider as well, because, is your cholesterol level at an acceptable level? Have you had your eyes checked? Have you had your dental appointment recently? Are you okay with regard to your physical and your mental health? Because if not, you need to do something about it. Is your weight at where you'd like it to be? Are you as fit as you would like to be? Because if not, you're always going to get down on yourself and you're not going to be your most confident, capable self, right? And then what about your career? Lots of questions about your career. Where are you at your career now? Do you have good relationships with your team members or your manager? Are you stuck with anything in your career, and is it something that you can do something about? When you know where you're at in this life inventory, then you can, what I've got here actually, it's like a table. Okay, so you can fill in how satisfied you are in your life, and taking an inventory, you realize, oh, okay, there are some areas that I need to work on. Do I want to work on them or not? So that's just the holistic approach with your life inventory. The other thing that you need to consider is, what are you tolerating in your life right now? You know, when you tolerate stuff in your life, it's very, very exhausting. Wouldn't you agree? It's a little bit like, tolerate. Is anyone tolerating anything in their life right now? Just type it in. If you don't have to say what it is, you can just say yes, because maybe you're tolerating a tyrant of a boss, or maybe you're tolerating a toxic work environment, or maybe you're tolerating something that's not satisfying in your life. A toleration is an energy drainer, and it doesn't allow you to be the best person you wish to be. So, for example, say if you're walking down a corridor, okay, and if the lights are all good and they're working, you walk down the corridor and you're focused on what you need to do, right? You don't think about the lighting. However, if it's a fluorescent light that's on its last legs and it keeps flickering, every time you walk down that corridor with the flickering light, you look at the flickering light and you think, oh, that's annoying. And then it's a distraction, and it takes you away from what you really need to do. And consequently, you look at it and you feel irritated. It takes a bit of energy away, and your focus is on the irritation rather than what you need to do. And so it's not a big deal because it's just a fluorescent flickering light. It's not a make or break. But the next time you walk down that corridor, it's there again. Oh, that darn light. It's flickering. It's so annoying. Then you walk down again. Oh, that light. It's so irritating. So if something is irritating you and you're tolerating it, why not do something about it? So if you walk down the corridor, you think that light's annoying, and you go and change the bulb and it no longer flickers, it goes away. The problem, the irritation goes away. Then you walk down the corridor and you get to focus on what you need to do. It's the same thing in life. So assess what your tolerations are, like I have in this particular exercise. Okay, yeah. Okay, what are your tolerations? And there might be many, or there might only just be one or two. It could be relationships that you're tolerating. It could be annoying people that you're tolerating. Okay. The other thing I like to do for you to get career clarity is to do a values assessment. What is it that really drives you? What are your personal values? What are your career values? Are you living the dream? Are you following your values? Because if you are not, then that means that you will always be dissatisfied. Wouldn't you agree? Have you ever felt at any time in your life that everything seems kind of okay, but there's something missing and you don't know what that something is? And say family's fine, partner's fine, job's fine, money's fine, home's fine, kids are fine, everything seems kind of fine, but you're not 100% happy. Why is that, I wonder? Do you know? And I know that some of you will be feeling, I don't feel 100% happy. I don't really know why, but everything seems fine. Well, it means you don't really have anything to complain about, but there is something missing, and I can guarantee you the thing that's missing is you are not living your values, your top values. You're compromising something. So maybe you want to, maybe dedication to a cause or service is a value of yours, to be of service of others, but you're working in a role where you're not really of service to others. Maybe it's just, you just have to make money. And so you're not doing the good that you want to, which is a top value of yours, even though you might be earning pots of money. Now, if money is not your top value, then you're not going to be that satisfied no matter how much you earn. Would you agree? And so if you really know what your values are, you can assess what you're doing, and then you can make changes in your career so that you create a more satisfying environment. But it all starts with you knowing what the values are, right? Okay, another thing to gain career clarity, and anyway, all my exercises are very long, but very detailed so that you can really assess yourself, is to assess your work satisfiers. This is what motivates you at work and why. What demotivates you at work and why. Because it's not so much, what it is, it's the reason behind it. So say, for example, for me, What's a big dissatisfier is a long commute. I do not like sitting driving for hours and hours. It's a major dissatisfier. And when I lived in London and I was working in Mayfair and Curzon Street, loved working in Mayfair and Curzon Street. The unfortunate thing was I lived in Twickenham, which was a 1.5 hour commute during rush hour every day. So that's 3 hours driving in the car in first or second gear. I never got out of first or second gear. I like driving manuals. And it just drove me mad. Plus, it was very hard to park in central London. I kept banging my car because all the parking spots are so small. Anyone who lives in London will know that's true, yes? So if I took the train and the tube, I had to change so many trains and tubes to get from Strawberry Hill Station to Waterloo, and then take 2 different tubes to get to, what was it? I think it was the District Line to Green Park, and then walk to Curzon Street where I worked. It would take an hour and a half anyway. So anyway, it was 3 hours commute, whether it was public transport or driving. Drove me mad. That's 15 hours, Monday to Friday, that was gone out of my life. And I don't like commuting. It's a career value. I want a short commute. And so I just got rattier and rattier because at the time, health and fitness was very important to me. And I couldn't fulfill that value either because it was too late by the time I got home. In the winter in London, it's dark at 4 o'clock. So I was going to work in the dark. I was coming home in the dark. I didn't want to go running in the dark. It was dangerous. So I was an unhappy bunny. So I need to know what my work satisfiers are and choose an organization that lives closer to home that enables me to have the shorter commute so that I can focus on my health and fitness as well, so I can be the best employee that I can be. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. So you need to know what satisfies you and what doesn't. Next thing we need to know is what your preferred skills are. Okay, I'm going to stop after that bit. Your preferred skills. What are you really good at? And what do you like doing? Because you might be really good at something, but if you hate it, you're going to be headed for burnout. So you need to be really clear on the skills that you have that are of high competence. You've got a high competence level, and the skills that you really enjoy using that make your heart sing and you could do all day, every day, and you just love it. Because if you're good at it and you love it, that's not work. It's a bit like me with my coaching. You know, I could talk till the cows come home, as you can tell, but I love working with my clients and helping them in their careers so that they can create the career of their dreams that they love. And it makes my heart sing. And I'm quite good at it because I've been at it for 19 years and I know how to read people and build their self-confidence and help them to gain career clarity so that they can take the direction that's right for them. Now, because I love it, it doesn't feel like work, right? Now, what you're doing at work, do you love it so much that it doesn't feel like work? I'd love to know. Do pop in the comment section. Okay, I'll just have a look here. Do pop in the comment section if you really love your work. And if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay and then just say, yes, I love my job, or I might like to look at something new. Who knows? Okay, so we'll see. So at any time, just type in the comments if you've got a question. I will go back later after this live and respond to everybody as well. Okay, and so that's what's in the Career Clarity Pack. These are the things that you need to think about if you want career clarity. Okay, I also have a lot of these exercises in Navigating Career Crossroads, which you can get as an ebook. You know, it's very inexpensive. Hop onto Amazon, look for Navigating Career Crossroads, and get it as a Kindle for under $10 Aussie, which is about $7 US, which is nothing really. But I've got a lot of those exercises in the book as well, which would help you. So I hope this has given you a little bit of information to process and to think about, because once you have career clarity, you can make the right decisions. Once you know what you want in your career, then you can tweak your resume, you can update your LinkedIn profile, you can hone your interview skills, you can expand your network. Now, you might not know how to do that at the moment, but in my future LinkedIn Lives, I will do so. Now, if you want to see any of my LinkedIn Lives, you can look for, I'll just have to tell you because it's not there. Ask Jane Career Coach. Okay, hang on, let me just hide that. Okay, oh, here we go. Here's the hashtag Ask Jane Career Coach. That's where all of my LinkedIn lives are at on LinkedIn. You just look for that hashtag Ask Jane Career Coach or follow it, and you'll be able to see all of my career advice as well. So I hope that will be helpful for you. And so I'm going to go and have some dinner now because it's about 8 o'clock in Sydney. I don't know what time it is where you are. I'd love to know. I'd really love to know which city you've been listening from. So I hope I haven't waffled on for too long, but I haven't done LinkedIn Live for a while, so I thought I'd provide some career clarity advice. Okay, hope this has been helpful, and I'll have dinner now, and then I'll check the comments and I will respond, and I'll tag you as well when I do so. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. And if we're not connected yet, please feel free to send me a personalized invitation. I'll tell you what to say. If you ask me to connect with you and you mention cats, golf, or dancing, it is very likely that I will accept. If you send me a generic request, then I probably won't, because I don't accept generic requests, because I want you to please just do a personal request, because it's business etiquette after all. Okay. And sometimes I get people who just say cats, 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 Jane, or else they send me a nice meme with a cat in it. I love that sort of thing because I'm a crazy cat lady. But anyway, enough of that. Just send a personalized request if you want to connect with me, and I'm always happy to respond as well. You can comment with any career questions that you have, and I'll respond to those too. So good night, and have a very good rest of the week. Bye now.